people still, and even more than ever, are craving authenticity.
Totally.
Authenticity doesn't mean you have to be authentic 100% of the time. Organic, you, not AI. Certain things can be artificially intelligently generated, and that will be okay. But it's the connection of a human to another human that won't ever be replaced to the majority of people, at least for a very, very, very long time. And for the
hopefully
generations.
Forever.
Yeah, hopefully forever. Hopefully forever. But you never know. You just never know.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Heather? Neither of us have ever done this before, but we were going to interview each other, and we did dual interviews earlier this year, just talking about what you do, what I do, and stuff has evolved since that time. And today we're going to talk about the AI ecosystem to grow your med spa. And I like that you called it an ecosystem, but before you explain what that means, we've never done this before, where we were going to record dual episodes again, but we're talking through it and we're like, this kind of feels like, as you said, an AI ecosystem. We should record this episode and make it a little bit longer and just put it on both of our channels. And so if you're on Heather's channel and you've never heard me or seen me before, my name is Mike LeMieux. I own a marketing agency that heavily uses AI, and it's called Med Spa Media. And we help med spas get more customers using paid ads and do it through booking, retention, and reactivation with AI. And Heather, tell us about yourself just a little bit here, and then let's dive into what the AI ecosystem is and means.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Hello to those of you who don't know me. I am the host, Heather Terveen, host of the Med Spa CEO podcast. I am the founder of the Med Spa Advantage program, and we help med spa and aesthetic practice owners really in three core areas. We help them create a branded, unique menu to them to competition-proof themselves. We help coach team members and help med spas create a very strong consult system. And then we help with marketing that is magnetically attracts premium patients and clients, and that actually links back to those signature branded offers as well too.
Wonderful. And the thing that I really love about what you do is that since you were in a practice for years, and you realized how good you are at marketing and strategy and operations, you created your business and you continue to evolve and kind of look at what's happening around you. And you've made 3 GPTs. And if people are like, what's a GPT? A GPT, the most famous one probably is Chat GPT, where you go on to chatgpt.com and you can ask it any question and it will give you wild or serious or great answers, imaginative, real, all different things. But Heather made 3 GPTs of her own, and it's designed for helping med spa owners and providers to be able to grow their business. So we're going to talk about those 3. We're also going to talk about the 2 ways you need to be using AI to grow your med spa. And we'll talk about ChatGPT when it comes to marketing. And we'll also talk about how you use AI when you're using a paid ads strategy as well. But Heather, let's talk about your GPTs if you'd like to start off with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, how quickly, and I was telling Mike before we even got on this interview that my husband and I were even talking about it just this morning about how quickly AI is evolving. And, people compare it to like when the internet was first started, except that it's like 10x as fast as that. It's just moving so quickly. And so I've been coaching and training and consulting in this industry for years now. And once I was able to kind of see how AI was impacting different parts of how we actually work and live, I knew that having some sort of an AI that would help my clients actually be able to implement what I'm coaching and training them to do was absolutely critical. It's one thing to tell you like, hey, like I want you to, this is our signature menu framework. We have frameworks and methods and for our, how to like reimagine your existing menu. right? But now I have a custom developed bot that my clients can now use that has my frameworks and all of my coaching built into it so that you can rapidly create your menu. Okay. Recreate your menu.
I understand what this means. Because we've talked about it a couple of times, and I've been very heavily researching and using AI for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
However, the average person is going to hear what you just said and not fully understand how incredible this is. So I want to peel back the curtain just for a second
let's do it
before we continue. So what Heather did here is she took hundreds. How many episodes are you at?
With the podcast, I'm at 270, maybe 280.
Nearly 300 podcast episodes, all of the courses and trainings, and everything that you've ever written or said. Right? Right?
Yeah. I divided it out because I did. Yeah. And then they got built into a custom GPT.
You took all of that information and you put it into a GPT that is effectively a clone of your brain.
Exactly.
But better, because it doesn't forget.
It doesn't forget
everything. It can, and
it doesn't run out of creative energy.
No.
I have limits. I'm human, right?
Yes.
There's only so much. I can't be with you all the time, right? I can't give you feedback on the fly.
So Heather made a super Heather.
Right.
That is available 24 hours a day, never gets tired, and thinks creatively, but also remembers everything that she's ever done and said.
Yeah.
That's
and there are it walks you through it because you can actually set up workflows. So when you go to it, she will actually lead you through our process of recreating your menu. She will actually, in the consult, we have the CARES consult process, which is stands for clarify, affirm, recommend, explain, show. You don't need to know that, but she will help you actually create your own CARES process for your clinic. We coach in our coaching program, we coach team members and we coach the owners. And so I was coaching on one of the team calls because we have separate calls for the team. And I was able to get all the team members with the mobile version of the AI, right? Mm-hmm. So that when they're facing an objection in a room with somebody, after they get out of that room, they can go to the AI and say, hey, she said my husband needs to think about it, or I need to reach out to my husband, or I need to think about it, or whatever the objection was. And then they're able to ask her in real time, what are some ideas for how she could have handled it? And it has all of my coaching hours, the hundreds of coaching hours I have of coaching team members and owners built into her. And so she can give a response similarly to how I would coach them in that response.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So you can do it in real time. You could do it if you have an idea about what their objections could be because you got some information beforehand. You could also ask it before, and it's just instant. It's absolutely crazy how instant and accurate and powerful that is.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mike, the third one is the marketing content. Okay. And so I have always sort of limited how advanced I get with marketing simply because of the challenge owners have and their team has with actually implementing what I'm telling them to do, right? It takes a lot of energy to write a bunch of emails, to create social media content, right? Yeah. But I have email frameworks and templates. And so those are baked into it. So it will help you actually create your email sequence for your high impact event, right? We call them high impact events.
So how easy does it make it? Do you know how long it would have taken someone to do this manually if they didn't hire a copywriter?
Oh, it varies widely on the skill set. But even for me, I consider myself a master copywriter at this point. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching for myself and training. I have a master's degree in communication. I feel like I have spent a lot of my career writing, and there's still limits to my creative capital. There's only so much energetically I can write in one sitting, and it takes me longer. right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's link it up in the show notes, but I have a demo where I walk one of my clients through creating and like repositioning one of her packages, creating the consult for the package, and then creating the email sequence to launch that package. It took me less than an hour to do all those things.
Wow.
And it
turned out that would have taken days before.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll link it up in the show notes so the listeners can like watch it to kind of see how it works as well too, just because I'm sure they're going to be curious after listening to this.
Totally.
But yeah, it's so much faster. And I think the concern is that, to be the devil's advocate here, the concern is that everybody's going to sound the same, or this is like removing the human touch. And like, you and I both know that it's a hybrid approach. Like we want to use the AI so that we can be more present when we're face to face with our team members, if we're coaching our team members, or we're still, face to face with clients and patients and what have you. Mm-hmm. So it's not removing that. And it doesn't it actually will take your tone and your voice, right? And adapt it for who you are, for what your brand is.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's amazing.
It's incredible.
Give us more. Give us more. So where do you want to talk about now? Because people need to know that owning a med spa, and I think that the majority of people do that have been doing it for a while, they need to know what to do on the business side. And I want to help them understand that using AI is going to enable you to actually do your charting promptly, to be able to have better, deeper, more thoughtful consultations, because you're not worrying about all the other stuff, or when you're going to go make a reel or a story. So like, that's really the purpose of using all these tools. And 100%. so much more to make it better, to make all those things better. It's not just, well, I need to use AI in order to like do this caption, right?
It's so much more than that.
It's so much deeper. So why, other than the fact that you're limited in your creative and your time and your energy, why these 3 GPTs that you created in order to help like scale how much help you can give? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, for me specifically, these are the 3 key levers that we use with our clients. So these were the 3 key things that I found were the things that moved the needle the most for our clients, right? Like I was like, I know if I can take their generic, boring commodity menu and recreate that generic menu and give them branded packages and plans and treatments and what have you, that was going to improve their revenue, improve their profits, and also make them competition proof, right? And then also having a very clear and elegant, consistent consult experience across all their providers, and then having marketing content that actually builds their authority. Those are the 3 key things we were already doing with our clients. Okay. And so that is why we focused on those 3 key things specifically. And quite honestly, it's also the 3 things like that we have the frameworks and the proof and the lots of hours of working with clients to be able, because the AI, Mike, is only as good. It's like garbage in, garbage out, right? Like if you are not giving, whether you're using ChatGPT, which I totally use ChatGPT, we can both talk about how we're using ChatGPT as entrepreneurs too. It's only as good as what you tell her to do. You know what I mean? And so that is, one of the key things we probably need to address as well too. So it's like, this is why you see a lot of people, complaining like, oh, this is obviously ChatGPT, right? Because you can kind of see it sometimes too.
If you go in there and you're like, give me a caption and to talk about a facial and why someone should get a facial, it's going to give you a very generic run-of-the-mill caption.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Yeah. Nope. So so if they ask your GPT that handles and helps with marketing, is there a process and this is called a prompt. So whatever you type to a GPT that you want it to do, that is called your prompt. Your prompt can be 1 sentence or it can be this long, like just pages. It doesn't need to be that long, but
No.
it could be. So what does your system do in order to give it the best, most accurate answers? Does it like say, I need to know these types of things? I have questions before.
Yes. Can I give you an example?
Mm-hmm.
So I already mentioned the high impact event sequence. So this is an email sequence that is designed to sell out your in-person event. Okay. So let's just say you're going to have an in-person event. You're launching a new package, that is all about your brightening package. We would name it differently, but for nomenclature's purposes. And so we have a very specific 2-week sequence that we have built into the bot. And so there's a couple things the bot will ask you, because we believe you should have incentives to get people to come to the event live. Okay. And so the bot knows that. Right. Yeah. And so she's going to ask you 3 or 4 questions to make sure that you are giving her the details that she needs to make a really high converting email sequence to sell out that event. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And so that's when I was saying, we're using some jargon here, which I always tell my clients not to use jargon, but it's called a workflow. Right. And so my bots are built with those in them. Mm-hmm. So it has the sequences, but then she also knows she needs more details in order to have depth to those emails. Right. Got it. And so she will prompt you back with say, okay, amazing, Mike. Now, can you, are you going to have any raffles or what have you? She knows that to ask that. Right. Because I would recommend that. And then she's going to pull more information from you in that way as well, too. Until she knows it, until she has all the information for where she needs to be so that she can make the best workflow and everything possible. Right. And then, she'll create email sequences that are so much better. Right. That's and amazing. Then we have prompts built in to our marketing content bot. It has, meaning I'm very big on how I think copy should be, meaning how I think the emails should be, how I think the captions should be to really have resonance. Right. Mm-hmm. And so if she gave you an email that was this could be better, you can just tell her, hey, can you apply some of Heather's prompts? Because I have micro story and all these different things that I know add the depth, and she's already built in with that. So could I go to her and say, I want you to help me with content ideas, a content schedule, captions, hooks, which are the first 3 to 5 seconds of your words or your video or whatever you're saying or doing in your post, stories, reels ideas. 100%. Yeah, I have all different types of frameworks for high converting reels, high converting social media content. And she has those frameworks built into her. Wow. And so hook, outcome, testimonial, problem, solution, result. You don't need to know them all, but they're all built in to it so that she's going to help you become a better marketer along the way. So before AI, because this is what we don't really do organic content anymore. We focus on paid ads now, and we'll talk about that. But before AI, we've been doing this, and it took so many hours of researching in order to know how to shoot the content, what to shoot, in order to know what to write for your captions, if there was a voiceover or dialogue, what that should say. It was very hard, to be honest. It's why we had the company, because med spas didn't want to do it. Right. Because it sucks. It's daunting. But this takes tens of hours a week or even a month down to 1 or less hour. Mm-hmm. And then all that comes next is practicing your on-camera speech and making sure that you're watching it back. Because, I've got to say this too. I just feel like I need to. AI is a shortcut for so many things. Right. But there are certain things
and I'll say this, I'm going to say this, and then I'll give another shortcut example that you can use. There are certain things that you can still do manually that will put you further ahead than everyone else in terms of engaging content, which is really important to growing your personal brand.
100%.
And to growing your med spa. But, and on the other side of my mouth, I will say there are a lot of different AI clone softwares now where you tell it a prompt and you talk and it takes your voice and it will create a clone of you, and you can tell it what to say then, and it will make all the videos for you.
Yeah. And I have to say, I'm not suggesting anybody do that.
I'm not suggesting it either. I'm saying I'm
not doing that. And I mean, no judgment if somebody decides to do it, by the way. But like what we alluded to at the top is like, we're looking for a hybrid strategy of like where we don't lose, I want, like, even when I created these bots specifically, I don't want to lose the heart of who they are. I want to help bring that out. Right. So you're still like, there is so much marketing out there about AI that I think is overstating what AI can really do right now. I agree, too.
Actually.
And so like, you're still going to have to put some push-ups in, right? Yeah. Meaning you're still going to want to do face to camera if we're talking about organic content, yep. Right? We still want to see the humans that we would see. We come in for a consult or aesthetic treatments or what have you. So I'm not suggesting that either. I'm suggesting this is like your sidekick to being able to do it easier.
Yeah, because what is going to happen and what is happening is that people still, and even more than ever, are craving authenticity.
Totally.
Authenticity doesn't mean you have to be authentic 100% of the time. Organic, you, not AI. Certain things can be artificially, intelligently generated. I don't know if that's how I actually say it, but AI generated, right?
Right.
And that will be okay. But it's the connection of a human to another human that won't ever be replaced to the majority of people.
Yeah.
To the majority of people, at least for a very, very, very long time, and for the generations. Forever. Yeah. Hopefully forever. Hopefully forever. But you never know. You just never know. I commend you for building these. People can buy them right now, right?
Yes. We'll link it up in the show notes where they can go. And I actually recommend, like, we'll put a link also for them to get the demo of it. It's like training plus I demo with a real life client who comes on the call with me.
In your opinion, is this better, as good, or not quite as good as working with you and your team 1-to-1?
So I think it's still like the best is having both. Okay. So in the Med Spa Advantage, but that's a more premium offer, right? Yep. For a certain type of med spa or aesthetic practice that wants to work with us in that way. Mm-hmm. And I think that this, though, on its own is an amazing offer. So we have it with our group coaching offer, and then we have it a la carte as well, too.
Love it.
I do think if you have a team that you want to have coached and have some accountability and what have you, working with us in the Med Spa Advantage is beneficial. And also just, there's so many other things. I recommend everybody works with a coach in some way. It doesn't have to be me at all. Totally. So I still think it should be you. Yeah. I still think the in-person, not in person, but where we're actually meeting face to face on calls and I'm getting to hear about your business is incredibly important. Mm-hmm. But this integration of the AI is incredibly helpful for the limits that coaching has and training and online education in general, right?
No, I have a coach too, and have for years. Yeah. And I asked her a question yesterday, and she got back to me right away with a very solid response. But the deeper, bigger response, I'm waiting for it. And it's like, well, I just have to wait and I have to keep working on other stuff. But I don't have to wait with the GPT. I don't have to wait to access your brain and level of experience and information that you can share with me. It's literally right there. I also have a friend who created a GPT of all of their hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. She's a sex therapist and her husband work together, and they are incredible people. And she's done so many pieces of content, and she put it all inside of this clone, this AI GPT of her. And oftentimes people prefer her answers than the humans.
Right.
It's wild because she can't remember everything that she's said and done.
Totally, because we're human.
Yeah. So I was asking you that because I wanted to know like what you thought of it genuinely. And I would, say that it has to be the biggest advantage that anyone could ever get in order to help grow their med spas, having that. And the icing on the cake would be for sure to work with you and your team.
Right.
But
you might already be working with a coach that you love, but you're interested in some of our like a leadership coach, let's say, but you're interested in using some of our frameworks, if you will, and you sign up for, we call it Ask Heather AI, but like that's a great thing to have in your back pocket in addition, right?
And I'm not even trying to like sell this. I genuinely, I'm not. I'm excited about it because I genuinely feel like if I were a med spa owner, and because I work very closely with them and I have for a long time, I understand how stressful it can be to the degree that I can to manage and run your practice.
Yeah.
And
wearing so many hats.
And it's just like, you don't feel like you have the time, but when you hear something this good and it's instantaneously implementable on your own and it's inexpensive to do, it's so amazing. And that's why I'm so hyped on it about all of these things that you've shared for you, because I'm just like, I need this. I'm going to go start a med spa now. And everybody walks out. You're amazing. No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
So let's continue with the AI ecosystem now and talk about booking, retention, reactivation.
Booking, retention, and reactivation is something that, as I have been working with med spas, I've realized that it's a black hole. It's not a gap. It's not a hole. It's a black hole. Very few med spa owners are operating at the level right now where they have all those things dialed in: booking, retention, and reactivation.
Yeah.
Booking, and for context, we're talking about booking appointments, whether it's an organic or a paid lead. So somebody found you from word of mouth, somebody found you from a paid Instagram ad, you are paying for Google search ads, or they come to your website, something like that. So the gap there, hole, is when the lead comes in, what is the system implemented that you have in order to take them from, hey, what do you do? Or how do I book an appointment, to getting them in your chair? Mm-hmm. That is the system for booking. And traditionally, if you want to book a patient, they either have to do it online, so through your website, or they call in, right, because a lot of them have questions, or they pre-book when they're there, right? There's like a lot of different things that they can do. And if they're booking online and they don't have any questions and they know what they want, great. That solves a very simple problem for a small amount of people. But the bigger issue is it's not just that easy to book appointments. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of questions. And when a new person finds you through one of your ads, you have to build rapport and trust and answer their questions incredibly quickly in order for them to want to book. The offer has to be really good in order to get them interested in the first place.
Okay.
But then you have to talk to them.
Right.
You have to say something. Like, generally, most of the time, that has to happen. And so the booking. Retention is, okay, well, you've had, let's just say, 1,000 clients come in your doors over the past 2 years, 1,000 different people. How many of those people are have come back in the past 3 months,
Right.
6 months,
Right.
12 months. It is so much easier to sell to somebody who has already paid you for something than to get a brand new customer for the first time.
100%. 5 times easier, actually.
5 times easier. But if you don't have a system in place to retain them and to get them rebooked,
right,
that nothing happens.
Right.
And then the reactivation, which is similar to the retention, but once those people go cold, or if you are running paid ads and you have a ton of leads from 6, 12, 18, 24 months ago, and they never booked, what are you doing with those leads?
Right.
Are you just letting them sit there? Are you sending them more messages? Is it better to call? Is SMS the best option? Is email the queen? We don't have time to do all of those. Like, maybe we don't, but this is what I've focused on with AI. Okay. So what we do is there's 2 parts to the business. We run meta ads.
Right.
We do Google as well.
Okay.
But specifically for meta ads, what we do is somebody scrolling Instagram or Facebook and they see an offer, which is like 20% off of an injectable or 20% off a facial or $199 for this service, whatever it is. It's an offer. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook and you see that and you're like, wow, that looks really cool. This is a really good piece of content. Like, I'm engaged, I'm watching it. It looks nice. I'm going to click this button and and then they're taken to a form where they fill out their contact information. They hit submit. And then right after they hit submit, what happens? So you either have a system that's set up where your front desk or you or someone on your team reaches out to these leads as quickly as possible to try to get them to book. Well, what happens if you're injecting someone's face and you get a notification, there's a new lead? Hold on a second. Hey, like, no.
This sounds crazy, but I totally have, clients who've been in business a long, long time who are still in the weeds with the leads. Yeah.
In the weed. I love that. I'm probably going to use that.
That's a tweet. They don't call it that anymore, but
That's an X. What do they say?
I don't know.
Get out of the weeds with the leads. So it's like, what do you do? So when we first started doing this at the beginning of 2021, we were a lead getting machine. Okay. We generated leads with these ads and then would notify the med spa, hey, so-and-so's here, go contact them right away.
Right.
And very quickly, what I realized is that it was just overwhelming to the team. Right. Because they're already, you guys have given the team, which is what you're supposed to do, stuff to fill their plate for the entire day. Right. So you can't add on this marketing. Right. So what we started to do, this is just like a quick evolution of where it is. So I actually was the one who started communicating with the leads, me at first. And I know it was to test it. It was to test it to see. Don't make fun of me. I'm not. It's just a lot of work. Well, you think about it and you're like, why would the owner, it was literally at the beginning, because I was thinking, I'm like, how do I help them? Because I knew that I couldn't scale it with this big of a problem. I knew that I couldn't help enough people if I was just shoving all the leads to them, which is still what the majority of other marketing agencies do, like nearly everyone. So then I was like, okay, well, so I hired a person to help after I had done this for a month or two. We were talking to the leads. And then a year ago, we started using AI to communicate with the leads for us, for you, for the med spa. So here's what happens now. Okay. Yeah. Tell me what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. You're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook. You see the ad, same thing. You fill out the form and then all of a sudden the automation comes through. Doesn't matter what time of day. Before it used to just be like during business hours, but now it will, if you fill out the form at 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to message you at 10 o'clock at night because you're up. Right. And if you reply, the AI kicks in, it turns on, and I have trained it to talk to you in the way that isn't pushy and isn't like salesy or overbearing, but that is informative, helpful, and designed to answer, yes, basic questions, but also things like, what stores are you located next to? What are your hours? Tell me about your providers. Do you have evergreen specials? Is this suitable for people with X skin condition? We don't give medical advice because that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
But it's connected to, it's called, this is going to sound nerdy. You're going to learn this term sometime. It's connected to a large language model like a GPT to answer these questions, but we give it this, remember how we talked about a prompt? We give it a massive pages long prompt.
Right.
So that it knows.
This is called an LM, right? Language model?
LLM, large language model.
Okay, large language model.
That's right. Yeah. So it's connected to that. So we give it the prompt that it needs to know everything that it needs to say and do in order to get this person booked. And the coolest part about this is it's more effective than people, because people tend to just have a conversation and they get sidetracked, they go off topic. But the AI always brings it back to, okay, do you have any other questions, or would you like to book now?
Right.
And then it helps get them booked.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That is so amazing.
So we do this for booking, we do this for retention, and we can do this for reactivation as well. Let's just say a lead comes through and, 4 to 8 weeks later, they never booked. We can send out an SMS and say, hey, would you ever be interested in this?
Right.
Can you tell me something like, why did you fill out this form a couple months ago? Is it a better time now to get the deal? Because a lot of it's timing, Heather.
Totally.
They might not be ready today to get it. They like the offer, but they something happened and they didn't end up being ready. So you have to reactivate them. And then to retain them, we can set it up to where the AI knows, hey, someone was in here 2 months ago for Botox and they don't have an appointment yet. We need to send them a message so that they book.
So good.
Or we can set it to where if they just came through and got treated, we can send them automated messages to help with Google reviews, referrals, making sure that they were pre-booked. We can help with all those things.
That is incredible.
And it's all with AI, and it's done automatically, and you just set it and don't forget it. We also have humans that are watching it, making sure that the AI is doing what it's supposed to do, making sure that people do end up booking, setting the AI back in, more automations if people don't book, because the goal is to pester the people without pestering them.
Right.
So that they book.
Yeah. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but, when we called this an ecosystem, right? And I think of we were talking before we actually hit record about the leaky bucket, right? Like I call it a leaky bucket, which is what was happening probably in 2021 a lot, right? When you were first starting you kept filling the bucket with new leads, right? But then if they're not being reactivated, if they're not having somebody reach out quickly to make sure that they actually follow through with the booking, they're not reminding them to show up, right? Then your bucket is going to be pretty leaky. And it doesn't replace your people actually asking for reviews and referrals. It just makes sure that we have multiple touch points happening really consistently and reliably. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is. And when you have the bucket that has the leaks, patching up as many things as you can, it doesn't necessarily mean there's no leaks.
Right.
That's the goal.
Right.
That's the goal. But these leaks are the biggest ones. And they're just taken care of with AI and the supervision of the people. Today it's not there where there's not AI agents, like a human agent that does things. There's not AI agents yet that are good enough to manage the AI. So we do have people watching this and making sure if there's escalation needed that they take it.
Yeah.
But it's the best system that I've seen. It's the best system I've seen for booking, retention, and reactivation.
Yeah. I mean, well, you think about it, most of us aren't going to have a person working 24 hours a day to give really efficient, like, care, if you will, like really efficient responses and communication. And so it is only a benefit to add it in, right? Because I think what's happened over the last, and I don't even know what the period, but certainly since the dawn of the internet, and certainly in the last 5 to 10 years, is our expectations on response times, on deliveries, on things as humans has dramatically gone up with technology, right?
Oh, yeah.
So being able to meet those expectations that a lot of your, clients or patients are going to have is incredible.
Yeah, because you're not the only one running ads. Your neighbor is.
Right.
And if they get to the lead first, they get the lead booked.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
So you have to have a simple system that works incredibly well in order to get them booked. And that's what it is. So I love it. I feel like this is a perfect ecosystem because you get all the leads, you get them booked, you know how to sell. When they come in and get treated, they buy these expensive packages, not because you're selling them, but because you're actually listening to what they need and you're giving them a solution that no one's ever told them about before. And it sounds good and you have the results to show, and they never leave because you retain them and you get them rebooked and everything just works. It's not like a magic switch that you just turn the stuff off. Like there's still stuff you have to do, but that's the hybrid aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like these tools enable you to actually do everything that we're talking about.
100%. And layered onto a clinic or med spa that is already delivering exceptional experiences, right? This is just going to amplify that, right?
Yep. So we'll put in the show notes how to get a demo.
Yeah.
We'll also put where to contact both of us if this sounds like a solution you have to have.
Yeah. We'll put all the information. Mm-hmm.
And for me, people always wonder, like, can this help me? I think that what you need to decide for working, if you could work with me, is, do you have availability in your schedule? Do you have a relatively small budget to pay for the ads and for the management and the service fee? Do you have the desire to grow your business and to treat more people and make more money? And the most important thing, are you super overwhelmed and or sick of trying to figure out how to do this and make it work on your own?
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing.
So good, Mike. So
good, Heather. Thank
we
you.
will put all the links that we talked about, y'all. And also, whether you're listening on the Med Spa CEO or Med Spa
Behind the Needle.
Right. We will link up where you can find Mike or Heather respectively, and all the details about what we chatted about as well too. So great conversation, Mike. I'm sure we will probably have another one in the future just as things advance.
I'm sure. Thank you so much, everybody, and take care of yourself.
Take care.